Every day, millions of brilliant ideas get crushed before they even see the light of day. It's not because they aren't good, far from it. It's because the gates to opportunity are guarded by a small, privileged few, those elite gatekeepers who decide who gets in, who gets funded, and who gets left behind in the dust. Founders, leaders, investors, feel it in your bones, the pain of trying to break through these walls that weren't built to let you in. You've seen it again and again. A great vision killed by a single no. A revolutionary project twisted to fit someone else's mold. A game-changing startup left starving for capital because the gatekeepers are busy protecting their turf, their rules, and their status quo. But here's the brutal truth nobody wants to admit. These gatekeepers thrive by keeping power concentrated, by making you fight for scraps, by forcing you to beg for approval within their narrow lines. They manage the noise, reward the average, and punish the exceptional. The system promises freedom, but it's a cage dressed in comfort and tradition. They sell you the illusion that to succeed, you must play by their rules, swallow their rejections, and stay in line. That's not freedom. That's control dressed up as opportunity. And yet, beneath this suffocating surface, an unstoppable rebellion is rising. One that's so powerful, so relentless, it's shaking the foundations of how funding, support, and growth have worked for decades. Crowdfunding. It's not just a new way to raise money, it's a way to shatter those gates into dust and reclaim control over your own destiny. For founders tired of waiting for the nod, investors craving real impact beyond polished pitches, and professionals frustrated by conventional channels, crowdfunding is a weapon, a lifeline, a revolution. Because crowdfunding doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't bow to elite committees or outdated hierarchies. It connects you directly with the people who believe in your vision, not because of polished CVs or fat wallets, but because your idea resonates deep inside them, because they see the fire you carry and want to fuel it. Imagine bypassing years of bureaucratic nonsense, of manipulated market signals, of having to dilute your mission just to fit someone else's metrics. Imagine unleashing your project straight into the wild, raw, unstoppable energy of the crowd. That's what crowdfunding does. It flips the script from gatekeepers deciding your fate to a community of believers driving your success. But this isn't some naive fairy tale where everyone just bets on every dream. No. Crowdfunding demands more. It demands clarity. It demands authenticity. It demands relentless connection with the few right people, the rare sparks who get your fire, who burn as bright as you do, who want to co-create, to build something that shatters the mold. It's brutal in its honesty because it exposes where your vision is weak, where your story lacks punch, where your mission gets lost in noise. But that's its power. It forces you to pare down to essence, to ignite the core of what makes you different, what makes you necessary. And here lies the secret, because when you stop looking for approval in the echo chambers of the elite and start building your own network of fiercely committed supporters, you tap into a force far stronger than any investment committee. It's a force of liberation. Suddenly, you're not chasing safe bets or incremental innovation. You're unleashing radical breakthroughs because your backers want to be part of something transformative. They're tired of the same old, the recycled, the mediocre. They're ready to fight for the new, and you become their signal, their leader, their lightning rod. This is why crowdfunding is more than money. It's a call to sovereignty. It's about reclaiming your will as your weapon and redefining what is possible. You're no longer tied to the old maps drawn by gatekeepers who don't see your vision. You draw your own map. You lead your own charge. You connect with the few who dare alongside you, not the many who want safe, familiar paths. And that connection is the heart of everything, because the world has no real space for the exceptional unless the exceptional create it themselves. The pain of isolation, the frustration of misalignment, the exhaustion of being misunderstood, those end here. Crowdfunding tears down the walls so the rare, the misunderstood, the the fiercely brilliant can find each other, combine their forces, and create ecosystems of true power. Here, difference isn't a problem, difference is strength. It's the fuel that sparks collaboration nobody else could imagine. It's the space where innovation explodes into new realities because no one is forced to fit the other's formula. Think of every time you felt crushed by bureaucracy, every whisper that said, "Not now," every door that slammed in your face because your idea didn't fit the gatekeeper's script. Now imagine turning that around, not just surviving those moments, but using the crowd's power to walk right through them, to build a network of backers not distracted by trends or politics, but hungry to elevate you because they share your vision for something real, something lasting, something disruptive. This is the system the old powers fear the most, because crowdfunding doesn't just fund projects, it rewires power. It moves decision-making from the few to the many, but not the many who follow blindly, the many who choose fiercely. It means the only rules that matter are the ones you agree to with your own tribe. It means faster pivots, deeper loyalty, and a truer alignment than any boardroom could manufacture. So how can you make this unstoppable? Start by shedding comfort, the chains of safe fundraising. Stop crafting your story for gatekeepers who don't see you. Instead, build your narrative for those who will burn with you. Get brutal about who you engage with. Find the early believers not in big numbers, but in depth. Focus on communities, on micro networks that fuel your project's soul. Show the world not just what your project does, but why it matters. Emotionally, urgently, rebelliously. Be transparent about the struggle. Invite them to be part of rewriting the rules with you. Then, use platforms that empower, not dilute, you. Find crowdfunding channels that align with your values, that reward innovation over polish, that embrace the raw edges of real transformation. And don't just stop at funding. Crowdfunding is a gateway to building real ecosystems where investors, founders, visionaries connect, collaborate, ignite one another beyond money. Make your crowdfunding campaign the start of a movement, not just a transaction. At every step, fight the temptation to settle. The road crowdfunding opens isn't easier. It's harder because it demands your true self and gives you full responsibility to wield your will like a weapon. But that's exactly why it's your liberation. The world never handed freedom willingly. It always came through fire and willpower. This fire you carry? Crowdfunding fans its flames into a blaze no gatekeeper can ever snuff out. For investors tired of playing safe and missing out on the truly groundbreaking, crowdfunding reveals unseen gems, creators who dare to redefine the game. But investing here means more than money. It means showing up critically, questioning assumptions, aligning with the few who dare become more. It means shaking off old biases and seeing brilliance in its raw, untamed form. For leaders, crowdfunding is a call to stop following scripts handed down from dusty boardrooms and start crafting futures from the edges. Your best bets aren't in networks of power. They're in networks of passion and defiance. Here is where the future starts, where every no from the old system becomes a yes from the many ready for change. This isn't some fleeting trend. This is a movement of the rare, a collective not chasing belonging, but forging becoming. A place where misaligned brilliance becomes aligned power, where the misunderstood connect and create. Where difference isn't a wall, but the bridges we build. Where sovereignty becomes the foundation of everything. If you've ever felt the pain of being trapped within rules that suffocate your fire, of watching the world around you reward the average and ignore the exceptional, this is your moment. Not to wait, not to adapt, but to break free. To build your own network that's not crowded with noise but lit up with essence. To connect with the few who burn as you do. To claim your space in a world that has none for the truly rare. Because crowdfunding is more than funding. It's freedom in motion. It's the pulse of a new world rising from the edges where the system ends and something vital begins. If you dare to be part of it, to step into the fire and shape what's next, you're not alone. Here, the rare find their place. Here, the future belongs to those who refuse to bend. So choose now. Will you wait for permission, or will you take the crowd's power to carve your own path? Will you settle for a borrowed life, or step into a movement that demands and deserves your full fire? Because the gates are crumbling, the crowd is waking, and the rare are rising.